Hello friends! I want to answer some questions I've gotten recently about publishing. If you don't know, I started a publishing company 10 years ago, and I have a bunch of experience that I can share with you about the difference between self-publishing, traditional publishing, and starting your own publishing company. So when most people think of self-publishing, they think about, okay, if I'm the writer, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to edit the book. I'm going to follow the guidelines on whatever print-on-demand printer I'm going with, like CreateSpace or Lulu. I'm going to format my own manuscript and I'm going to upload it, and then it'll be available online. That's what most people do. They can hire out parts of that, like some people hire an editor, some people hire someone to format it, some people hire a cover designer, but nowadays, everything can be done just by you, by following instructions. And that works really well. It's fast. You don't have any middlemen that you don't want if you don't hire them. You can upload it yourself. You have complete control. You keep all the royalties to whatever you sell. And there we go. But you miss out on a lot of what traditional publishers do to ensure the success of a book, or at least to make the success of the book a lot more likely. And that is like all the stuff in between writing, or even the concept of the book and the sales part. I go over all of those steps, the 10 phases of publishing, in another video that I did and in a checklist that I have, and I'll just list them here for you now, but if you want to really get to know them, understand them, go to that other video. So the 10 phases of publishing are concept, writing, editing, platform development, page design, cover design, typesetting, printing and distribution, marketing, and sales. And that's even kind of a bridge. There's more to it. Obviously, printing and distribution could be separate steps there, but there's so much that goes into publishing a book that gets missed by most self-publishing. I just want to talk about a few of the things today that I think could be really beneficial to self-publishers who want more recognition and more sales for their book. And the biggest thing is standards. Self-published books often lack the look of a traditionally published book. And that has so much to do with who is formatting your book, who designed the pages for your book. Are you within the guidelines for that genre? Because really what you would want is if some industry person, some book buyer, librarian, if they were to hold your book, do they know the difference? Can they tell if it's self-published or not? You kind of don't want them to be able to tell. You want them to think that a reputable publisher published your book. That means they're going to take you seriously. They're going to buy your book. They're going to stock your book because there's no immediate fault with it. A lot of things that self-publishers don't know start there. But it's also if you want your book in libraries, it's not that hard to get them in libraries, but you have to have a certain cataloging piece on the copyright page so that librarians know where to put your book. That's something that nobody really talks about. If you want book buyers and librarians to buy your book, or newspaper reviewers or journalists or anyone else, if you want them to write about your book, to buy your book, to promote your book, you need to do what's called a Galley Stage. You need to make a book that looks different from a traditional book, that it has all kinds of different information on the back, and make a one sheet and a press release and have this little packet that you send out to book reviewers, journalists, etc. And that goes out months before your book actually is released online for the public or is available in bookstores. So there's a whole phase of pre-sales that goes on. So again, in traditional self-publishing, you're going to make your book and then you're going to put it on sale online when it's done. But that way you miss the buzz building. You miss introducing it to the industry, to booksellers, reviewers, etc. And it's not hard to do that in between stuff. I think people just don't know how to do it. It was really beneficial for me in my intuitive art book because I actually did get a review from Library Journal, and that means that went out to all the librarians in this country basically, and in Canada, and I got librarians to purchase my book just by sending it to Library Journal. I didn't have to contact all those libraries. They saw the review, they bought it. I got a great review to put on the back of my book, which helps me sell even more. And it also means that now they're familiar with my press name, so all my subsequent books are going to get more attention because they're used to seeing me. So it's a really big deal to send your books out for review, no matter where you do it. You don't have to send it to librarians. You don't have to send it to newspaper reviewers. You really have a lot of control over where you want your book to be featured. And another really great asset that most self-publishers don't know about is the Independent Book Publishing Association. I do a lot through them of media placements, getting my book in front of thousands of media outlets so that I can get publicity and attention. And that's been really cool. And again, it's so much less work on my end. I don't have to send out thousands of press releases by myself. I don't have to buy an email list or an address list for any of this stuff. I just go through this association and they do it for me. So there are so many resources that are missed. There are so many important standards that are missed. Like, do you know all the things that need to go on your back cover? Do you know what needs to go on your spine? Do you know you need a spine to get into libraries? You can't just have a book with a fold-over cover for a library. There are a lot of things that are really easy to figure out once you know about them, but that most self-publishers aren't considering, and it's really hindering what happens with their book in most cases. Another thing I really love to take advantage of is pre-sale strategy. I love offering my book for pre-order to get a signed copy, and that way I get to really be more intimate with my customers. I can put a little note in the package. I can, ship it to them directly and they get a signed copy, and it just feels really good. But it's also an opportunity to sell something else with your book. You can offer an upsale. This worked really well for intuitive art. I offered one of my programs for a big discount, and like 1 in 3 people took that. That added an extra $100 per order for those people who upgraded. And that really helped me with my sales numbers. I'm doing a similar thing with my latest book, Above the Surface. And it's just a great way to either help offset the cost of publishing or just to grow your revenue for your book launch. There's so much I could talk about here, and one of the reasons that I'm sharing all of this is because I have so much knowledge. I've been working at this for a really long time. I'm currently developing a lot of new books with my own team. I'm really passionate about this subject, but what I also realized was that I kind of don't have time to take on other people's work for the most part. We're being really selective on what we work on, and I still want this information to get out to you. So what I did is I created a self-publishing course that'll teach you all of this stuff, and I will give you templates of the press releases, the one sheet, everything you need to get your work out there in a traditionally published way. We talk about everything in detail that's on that checklist. So all 10 phases of publishing completely outlined for you. I show you how to get the most money for your ebooks, where to go for full color, where to go for hardcover. Everything I know, I have put in this course. It also will help you create your own publishing company if that's what you want to do. There is a really big hole in the market for this kind of level of service in the publishing world. If you want to really help people create a quality product, if you love books, if you want to create your own books and help other people, this course is definitely for you too. And even if you take just 1 or 2 tips from this course, it's really going to help your book in quality and in sales. So if you want to sign up for the course, just follow the link. If you want to watch the video on describing all 10 phases of publishing, you can click the other link below. If you want the checklist, you can download that at pubchecklist.com. There's so many resources for you. If you have any more questions about self-publishing, traditional publishing, etc., just let me know. I love talking about it. And I will see you in the course. It's going to begin in a couple weeks, so sign up now and get started. I can't wait to talk to you. If you sign up now, it gives us more time to chat beforehand, and so I can really get to know what you want to do. If there's a book you've already written, if you are looking to write one, I can't wait to get to know you and your project more in depth. So I will see you in there, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye for now.